All right, this has begun. We are about to start this. This is just gonna happen. I can't sleep. I need to talk about this with somebody. I'm not sure if I'm even online yet. I might be just babbling to no one right now. That could totally be happening. And that's horrible. But anyway. Wow, what a day. What kind of crazy news is this? Nutso. What's up? Alright, people are on. Why do I have 107 viewers? That can't be right. That can't be correct. That's gotta be wrong. Anyway, what's up everybody? TN Tatooine, what's happening? Rob1912, what's up? Welcome to TalkVR. With Cymatic Bruce. Yeah, it's something wrong. 3 viewers sounds more like it. That sounds more correct to me. Anyway, yeah. This is just craziness. Oh, you listened to the podcast. Yeah, that was a really good podcast. I think that was some good conversation that we had. It was good stuff. It was yeah, it was. I think all of us really had a similar reaction, where it's like, "Holy crap! What is? Are you serious? Is this going on?" And then everyone was like, "Okay, wait a minute. Let's kind of think about what's the positives out of this. You know, what's going to come out of this." So that was a good conversation. I think there's a lot of emotion, a lot of knee-jerk reaction going on right now, and everyone needs to just calm down and hope for the best, man. So I just don't want to sit here and talk. I want to conversate with people. I right now am on Skype. If you have Skype, you can hit me up. The handle on Skype is cymatic.hitbox. Call in. Let's talk about this and see what's going on. Yeah. All right, 6 viewers. Yes, 6 whole people ready to talk about this craziness. So what's up, man? Someone call in, get on Skype, cymatic.hitbox, call in, let me know. Give me something in the chat, let me know what's happening. Man, this is just crazy news. I have no idea where to even start. It just seems so out of the blue. Like, why, of all companies that I thought that was gonna buy Oculus, out of Valve, Apple, Google, Sony, Samsung, Microsoft, like, they're all higher on the list. Like, all of those companies I would think would be higher on the list. Yeah, Facebook was just so unexpected. Yes, they're a titan in the Silicon Valley, but you know, it's like, it would be just like, you know, Cisco or Oracle or someone stepping in. It's like, it'd be kind of the same thing. Like, this is not your core competency. Yes, there's a link. Yes, there's probably a way for VR to link socially, but is this really the deal? Like, are we really? I don't even know. I'm gonna go ahead and make a post on Reddit. Right. Let's see. I don't know if I should even post on Reddit. People are gonna be like, all that negative craziness from the Reddit. Kinsey, you're awake. What's up, Kinsey? How's it going? Welcome to the ridiculousn's. Welcome to the crazy. It's like bizarro world. Facebook has bought Oculus. I don't even know what's happening. There's so many implications for developers, for consumers, for Oculus as a company. I mean, do they maintain their autonomy? How much of it do they maintain after the consumer unit drops? Like, what kind of changes are we going to see? We're going to see an Oculus store, a walled garden that it's going to have approved apps. How open is things going to stay? There's a lot of questions, man. A lot of questions. Yes, Random 3 a.m. live stream. Welcome to the to the madness. I just can't sleep, man. I want to hear people's feedback. Hear what people are talking about. Let's see. Put a post on Reddit. Can't sleep. Uh, I don't know. Nick, Bruce, talk VR. Call in and discuss. Call in via Skype and discuss this crazy news live. I'm streaming right now. I can't sleep. Alright. Let's talk about Oculus plus Facebook. That's just those words together are just nuts. It just doesn't even make sense. Okay, I can type, I swear I can. Alright, excellent. I'm posting this to the subreddit. I have no idea who's gonna actually see this or who's gonna care, but whatever. I've got 12 whole viewers, and I'm very happy about that. Excellent. It's morning for TNT and Tween. T and Tween. Excellent. Rob believes that it was not a good move and is hoping that Facebook won't restrict anything. I definitely feel where you're coming from, man. I feel what you're coming from. Hello, Jose VR. Welcome. Brain is confused. Listening to my voice on Road to VR. God. Am I coming at you from stereo? Both both directions. Bull. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to jump in this. TNT is in there. Kinsey's in there. Bull. I guess. Oh, it's echoing, Jose. I'm sorry, man. I just can't sleep. I've got to talk about this, man. I've got to be like, hey, what is going on? This is just a little bit crazy, kind of exciting, kind of scary. As a VR developer, it's gonna be pretty. I mean, it was already kind of a lot of unknowns, a lot of variables, but this makes those unknowns, I think, a little bit scarier. I think as a dev, that's depending on perhaps the Oculus structure to support this. So, Jose, SVVR. I am not going to get a chance to go to SVVR most likely. I have a work obligation that I'm trying to get out of, but it is not looking like I will be able to. So again, work is keeping me from SVVR, and I am not happy about it. But yeah, I'm going to try to maybe show up midway through or later and see what I can do there, and see what's going on. So yeah, this is pretty wild. Yeah. Coming to terms with Facebook plus Oculus, yeah, I could definitely feel that. I could definitely understand that. I think, if you listen to our Road to VR podcast, I think that's what a lot of us kind of decided, like, you know what? Let's just kind of relax a little bit, look at this logically. Like, Facebook is a company that realizes that they're not going to be on top forever, and in fact, arguably, they're already in a decline. They're losing their target demographic in droves, and while they have a humongous user base, that humongous user base is not guaranteed to stay at all. And so what do you do as a company that has a lot of money to throw around but may not have that money to throw around for much more time? You invest into the next cool thing. You invest into something that's going to be a long-term moneymaker. You take your eggs out of that one social media basket and try to put them in other places. So the question is, after that, like, how much does Facebook interfere with what Oculus is doing as a company? Um, hey, We Are VR is here. What's up, man? Welcome. Welcome to the fray. It is a little bit madness. So what I have going on here, I'm simply talking right now, but I'm reading the chat, checking that out, so that's cool. But I would also love to have um, people call in. I would like someone to call in via Skype. Skype handle is cymatic.hitbox. Call me up via Skype. Let me know what your thoughts are. What do you think? Um, hey, it's E. McNeil in the house. What's happening, man? Welcome. Welcome to this ridiculously late, early, crazy news live stream. Feel like I'm a news reporter. Sit up in my chair. Maybe I should have got a tie instead of a scarf. You know, to make it get a little more professional here. Um, but but yeah, this is crazy. You know what? This is what I'm gonna try to do. Let me see if I can do this. Window capture chat. And there we go. In window. Region. Select the region. So let's see if I can actually insert chat into my little newscast area here and do that. That might be pretty cool. Right, let me see here. Oh my. So yeah, I would love someone to call in and see what's going on there. I would love to hear from you out there. I'm going to be reading the chat and seeing what people think and all that good stuff. There we go. Let me put this, I'm going to get that Facebook logo. Put that in the same thing with the Oculus logo. I'm just going to move things around here because that's what we can do. It's 3 in the morning or 1 in the morning for me, 3 in the morning for some of you. And I don't care. We're just going to move crap around. That's what's going to happen. All right, prepare yourself. Excellent. That's probably too small for everyone, but that's okay. Excellent. What's happening? Let's talk about what are the next steps? What's going to happen from here? It seems like it's just going to be business as usual at Oculus for a good while. It's just going to be chill. Like it's going to be like, well, cool. You know, we're going to keep doing what we're doing, programming what we're programming, just like, you know, John Carmack is like, hey, I'm still coding and nothing has changed there. Day-to-day operations don't change. I think this DK2 rolls out, probably consumer unit, maybe it rolls out faster. I think the question is what happens way after that. What's the deal? What happens? Who? Where? Why? Like what's the software platform? What does it mean for the Oculus publishing arm? Does it mean anything? Is it just Facebook handing over money bags and being like, we believe in you, make us some cash, make us our money back? Wow. Let's see. Doping is here. He says, will developers now be able to program the power button on DK2 into a Facebook share button? Like the DualShock 4. Yeah, we were joking about that. Like they'll have a button on the outside of the Rift. You push it, like, dislike. Or maybe it'd be like a face palm. Like you have a button just right on the front. So you just like, face palm. I have no idea. I have no idea what it looks like, you know? Skype it's going across the top of the screen. It's cymatic.hitbox. Feel free to give me a call via Skype. Call in and we'll see what's going on. I'd love to talk to some of you out there. Yeah, excellent, Blasmo. Jump on, man. We'll see what's up. Post from Palmer saying that Facebook buying Oculus will bring the price of the CV1 down. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's going to be the deal. I think that's definitely it's opening up new doors for them. They have a boatload of cash now that they can use on all kinds of hardware. They can throw all kinds of extra cash at developers for their publishing arm if that's what they want to do. Let's see what we got going on. Add accept Cosmo Scarf, and I'm going to answer. Hello.
Hey, this call.
Yes. What's up, Cosmo? How you doing, man?
Hey, great.
Oh man, looks like the internet. Why does it hate me? The
Hey,
internet.
great. You want this other hip hop? It's not. There we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, is that better?
Hi.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
So,
So,
so
what are your thoughts, man? What are your thoughts? What's your feedback? What are you thinking about this madness? What are your impressions?
it's it's crazy. I mean, I was uh two after it on Twitter, and right after I just got a haircut,
Yeah.
and just in for like a solid 30 seconds, just staring at the. What the fuck? And like,
Exactly, right? It's like what? Just like I got a text from my from Carl SVVR, and I was like, "What is he talking about? FB? Are you serious? Like, what does that even mean?" And I check my Twitter, which is blown up beyond recognition, and everyone's like, "Bruce, oh my God, bro!" And I'm like, "Holy crap, this is real. This is not April Fool's. Like, what is this?"
yeah, crazy. Like, it makes sense in hindsight, but it just like it's happening. The whole thing is happening so fast, faster than any of us could have predicted. If I was thinking about, who's gonna buy Oculus, if anyone would, I'm like, oh no, that's not for years. Well, it
Yeah,
happened, and it's huge, and it's huge for Oculus. It's huge for people interested in VR. Honestly, my perspective on this whole thing, that people need to calm the fuck down. First,
uh-huh.
I'm reading all this stuff on Reddit right now, and people are just flipping out,
Yes,
flipping out.
they totally are. People are going
And
nuts
and
right now.
right, I think will have a right to be at, I think for sure. Um, it does seem a bit of a betrayal in a sense. They are a small company and they're under this huge, massive Facebook, and only time will tell as to what the outcome of this. And time, what does this mean for people like us, helpers, and people in the community? Well, I think this is overwhelmingly positive, considering that now Facebook has resources both in terms of cash and in terms of people uh, to bring consumer VR to as in the world as possible. That's what this means.
Yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree. I mean, it's shocking. There's definitely that I think there's that natural reaction to just not like a big company coming into your little comfortable corner of the internet. And it was I think everyone anticipated, yeah, it's gonna blow up, but it's gonna be way down the line, and Oculus is gonna be this company that we're gonna be able to be on the ground floor and see grow from the ground up, and slowly they'll get bigger and better and more awesome, and suddenly it's like, oh wait, Facebook, $2 billion. There is definitely that kind of emotional reaction to that. But yeah, I think I totally agree with you. I mean, it's enabling Oculus to do a lot more. I mean, this is still the same team of people. It's still a group of some of the smartest people in the world, that are all enthusiastic about solving the problems of virtual reality. And those people all just got a whole boatload of cash. like,
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's easy to hate on Facebook, and for all the privacy concerns and all, they only care about getting users and they only care about ad revenue. What have they done for the world? They've connected a billion people in a way that no one else could have done. And if that's any sign of what's to come for VR, then I should all be excited.
Absolutely. Yeah, that, I think that's a valid point. I mean, Facebook is, whether you like it or not, and there's some reasons out there definitely to not like it, but they've been very successful, and they've been very successful for a long time. They've dominated their market and been successful in connecting billions of people around the world, and they have that infrastructure there, and that has humongous implications for virtual reality, to be able to connect people through VR. With that Oculus has that resource at their disposal, so to speak. But yeah, I think it's a net positive. I think there are those fears about how Facebook might interfere with Oculus, or Facebook might affect the way that um, you know developers get their software onto the Rift, or the platform in general, how the specifics of that end up working down the line. But um, yeah, I mean, from what they're indicating, from what they're saying initially, it's sounding like, this is going to be kind of a partnership type thing, that they're going to have Oculus be rather autonomous and independent, and they're just going to be giving them a lot of resources for them to do what they're doing better and faster. So
Yeah, I don't know. This whole thing is crazy, and there's just such an insane knee-jerk reaction to this. So so suddenly, and I'm honestly, like, I'm surprised, and I know people just generally, there's just been this trend in the tech community to hate Facebook, and to be like, yeah, well, what about security? What about, and yeah, those are definitely valid concerns, and I think everyone should be concerned about this deal for sure. But at the same time, look at the reality right now. What is this? Oculus is going to have, again, the money and resources, otherwise, to propel their vision full, to propel VR into every household that can afford it. That means.
yeah, their Oculus is all about bringing the best VR experience to as many people as possible, and in that respect, I mean, this is in line with their mission. But yeah, I mean, but I can totally understand the concerns that people have about Facebook. I don't have a Facebook account myself. I end up deleting my account for a number of reasons. Part of it was the privacy deal, and kind of being worried about that, but part of it is just, it just wasn't a good fit for me in my social life. Like, it was just too much. I'm a guy that, yeah.
Only time will tell.
Hmm.
And not could predict what this industry will look like a year from now or 6 months from now.
Yeah.
When something actually ships, everything will change, and it already has. Everything has already changed, but it's going to change again. I'll
Yeah.
tell you. Who knows how much control Facebook will take in terms of, telling Oculus what to do. I mean, my hope is that they'll stay as independent as possible with just the, but also, my fear is that something more, the cynical side of me is, I know, if ads on with Facebook's, his ad, and that's, make their money, that's going to creep into the Rift eventually in some form. Ads were always, but I mean, obviously not know what it is with that yet. But I guess, we'll at least start to understand what it means in the broader scope of what we do.
Yeah, I think we'll see how that develops. I mean, it is a gaming industry based on making money. There's no doubt going to be some things that'll happen that'll be like, we might see some very creative ways that ads are put into video games. You might see a comeback of the vending machines that are licensed and have product placement in our VR experiences. That might end up being less obnoxious than having a big thing plastered over your over your app on a phone, right? But
Yeah.
yeah,
So apparently I'm cutting out, and so are so.
yeah.
I guess Bob, I'd love to talk to you more about this. If we can figure out a better internet connection some other time, but just to talk about this and VR in general, um, I don't know. Let me know, but I'm gonna go now. It's kind of late.
Oh, no problem. Excellent, Cosmo, man. I appreciate you calling in. Thanks for your impressions and your feedback and your input, dude. Excellent. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Have a good night. So yeah, what's up, everybody? I see we've got a few more people. We've got a good crowd right now. Cheesy Dude in the house. VMU Kiss, Red of Paw, Oracle, Rob 1912, Electric. What's going on? What's happening, everybody? Um, yeah, I want to talk to you guys. You got Skype? Call me at cymatic.hitbox. Um, that's my Skype handle right now. So give me a call. Call in, share your thoughts, share your impressions. Dark Akuma, what's up, man? How's it going? So yeah, let me know. Hopefully the stream won't conflict too much with Skype. I've streamed and Skyped before at the same time and it was okay, so maybe it was just Cosmo's connection. We'll find out. So someone else, feel free to call in. Let me know what you want, what you want to say, what you want to contribute. So yes, that is crazy. So Palmer's assurances that Red of Paw has brought up. Yeah, I mean Palmer has made some great statements. He really held his ground. I really respect him for keeping at it, like making those repetitive posts on the Reddit, even though he's getting downvoted to hell, which is absolutely just so ridiculous. And it's just really weird, like some of the intensity of the backlash. Even if I don't know if some of you have actually saw this, but on the blog, the Oculus blog, there was a letter from Brendan Aribe to the team. And then after the letter, there's a place for comments, and of course the comment system is through Facebook, but everyone's just hating on Facebook, but they're commenting with Facebook, and then they refer to it and like, and another thing, it's just like this comment system. I'm restricted to have to use this comment system and even make a comment. It's BS, yada yada yada. It's so crazy. It's just so wild, so wild. So I think cooler heads will prevail. Like this will all go to normal in a couple days. I think no one wants the big company to come in and ruin things, quote unquote. I think there'd be a similar backlash if it was Samsung or Apple or Microsoft that was coming in and doing this, or even Google. Google is not immaculate. I don't know if it'd be as much backlash as Facebook is getting, because that just seems like a out of the blue company, not something I wasn't really equating Facebook with visionary technology gatherer, but I'm not sure what their game plan is, but I do hope that it involves a lot of hands off with Oculus and a lot of handing over the cash, which would be great. Excellent. So, yeah, anyone want to call in and talk to me, you can do that via Skype. Cymatic.hitbox is my handle. Feel free to do that, and that'll be cool. What do we got going on in the chat? Yeah, Google seems to kill products that you love. Yeah, I agree, dude. Google has some just strange things happening. Like they'll make something really cool, and then they'll be like, you know what? no, we're not supporting that. That's gone. And it's like, why, what? It's just like, it's so weird. It's so weird. Some of the decisions that come out of there. They just grab everything and they have something really good and then they just change the design totally and screw it up, or they just don't support it at all. It's just some weird way to do things over there. Um, Dark Akuma, after all this, started work on a new Rift demo. Awesome! Keep developing, you guys. VR is not dead. Oculus is not dead. No one's dead. This is, no one's dying. This is, it's just got an infusion of a whole lot of money, and everyone's alive. Make your demos, make your games. I just got my Unreal subscription for $20 a month, and I will be learning Unreal, and I will be making my demo for sure. I'm just super determined more than ever now. It's just such a great opportunity. I mean, it's something you got to take advantage of. Cosmo says Apple would have been received better for sure. I would believe that. I think I think people would be okay with Apple. I don't know. There's a lot of division on Apple as far as their walled garden and their less openness, but as far as from a design perspective, I agree with a lot of what Apple does, and an innovation perspective, Apple definitely needs a whole lot of that. They're making they're starting to look like a broken record. That would be wild. Oh yes, Facebook is trying to be Google. Yeah, absolutely. It seems like it. They understand that their social network is probably not going to be forever. It's already predicted to be on a major decline. Yeah, they're looking to preserve their company, period. I don't even know if they're preserving the business model, but certainly they want their company to still be existing 5 years from now, not become another MySpace or Friendster, 6 Degrees. So all of that, it's wild. Jose VR says, how do you guys feel about the quickness of Facebook acquiring Oculus? Apparently it all happened over a few days. Yeah, that's one thing that that was brought up. That's one thing that was brought up in our Road to VR chat, and something that is a little concerning. Like, why? Like, what? I think the big mystery is, what the hell did Zuckerberg and company say to the Oculus team to get this rolling? I mean, who knows how long they've been talking? A month? A couple months? Why is it all of a sudden like, oh yes, we need to wrap this up. Let's go. Like, what's the rush here? What are they looking to do? Is Oculus looking? I don't know. I mean, it seems like from the Oculus staff, they're indicating that they're going to make a big announcement soon, and whether that announcement is going to be a cheap as hell consumer unit, or a panel or a feature that they thought were not going to be able to include because of financial reasons, and now they can. Maybe they'll be able to nail down a release date for the consumer unit now because they have a lot more things in place financial wise. They have a lot less risk. Who knows, man? It's really crazy. I mean, there has to be a reason why this is put together so fast. And I'm thinking it has a lot to do with them, Oculus getting a hold of some cash, getting some things in motion so they get their consumer unit out the door. If it's my guess. I mean, because Facebook doesn't have to rush. I mean, all the onus is on Oculus for anything being rushed. I mean, once the agreement is being made, Facebook is still going to be Facebook a year from now. So there's no rush on their end, but Oculus is on the verge of releasing a consumer product. So yeah, of course, it makes sense for them to get a rush so they have access to that money as soon as possible, so they can start hiring or dumping money into developers for content, or dumping money into hardware for a quicker release, or all of those things. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Yeah, and yeah, like Oculus, Red of Paw, Oculus didn't want to spend it wasting time, and you know, these guys have been working their asses off. I talked to Palmer at GDC, and I was like, you know, I asked him, I was like, Palmer, how are you doing, man? Are you okay? And he's like, you know, I've been working really hard. You know, he said, I've been working really hard, and he said, I haven't had a weekend in about a month or two. This man is working like, literally, he's working 7 days a week, just constantly. He's just constantly just working to make this thing happen. So when people are like F you Palmer, or like, you know, oh, Oculus is being lazy, or they're dragging their feet, like that stuff, it's ignorant, dude. It's total BS. I'm sorry. Like, these guys are all, you can see it, all of them have bags under their eyes, from Aribe, Joseph Chin, all those guys. they're all like, you know, they were definitely cool and happy to be at GDC, and they're very personable, but you can see those guys like sleep probably 2 or 3 hours a day. You know, it's like those guys, everyone over there is busting their ass. I have no doubt. And seeing the difference between what the DK1 is and what the DK2 is, that's not something that happens from a lazy company. So yeah, there we go. Up, looks like I have another person that's going to be calling in via Skype. I love this. This is like a talk show, dude. I have my own talk show. It's like a dream. Excellent. We have a caller. Hello, caller.
Hello, is this Cymatic Bruce?
Yes, welcome to the Cymatic Bruce VR talk show.
Hey. Hey, it's E. McNeil.
It's E. McNeil, the vaulted and much celebrated creator of CS, which is now Darknet. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So glad to have you on. So, you know, the first question, of course, is, dude, what are your impressions? What are you thinking about this? What was your initial reaction, and what are you thinking now?
Initial reaction was, I think, like most people, just sort of shock, because nobody was thinking Facebook. Like I didn't see that coming at all. Like you were saying, you know, I could have imagined Microsoft or like Samsung even, but not Facebook. And then I immediately started seeing the backlash, right?
Yeah.
And so I was really worried. It was sort of like that sinking feeling, not because I'm that worried about like Facebook, you know, destroying the Rift or like, you know, killing VR or something, but just because like it seemed like everyone hated this. Like it was, you know, going to be something that they have to push back against for like the entire rest of development. And so it's really comforting now to sort of see all like the people who I knew in the Oculus community beforehand actually seem to be sort of a lot more level-headed about it. Like there's this ridiculous backlash on Reddit, and to a lesser extent on Twitter, but there's like a lot of the people who I know and respect seem to, you know, see both sides of it.
Absolutely, absolutely, totally agree. I think I was also disheartened to see the level of just negativity on the all over the place, like cursing out Palmer and like they were cheated on or betrayed, like, you know, like Palmer slept with their mom or something. It's like,
yeah, we need to give like a round of applause for Cheesy Dude and Wormslayer and the other mods for like, you know, saving us from the worst of it. But like I feel like I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but I could rant about that for like an hour, just because some of the stuff that I'm seeing just doesn't even make any sense. Like outside of the Oculus subreddit, just elsewhere on Reddit, because that's the only place I hang out. There was somebody who was like, you know, oh, you know, it's a classic scam. They promise a generation what they've wanted for decades, and then they host a successful Kickstarter, and then they, you know, take the money and run or something. Yeah. It's like, first of all, I backed the Kickstarter and I got an Oculus Rift, right?
Right, yeah.
Like they knocked that out of the park.
Yeah.
And then secondly, who is it that thinks that they're like not going to do the CV1 now? You know? Exactly.
Like, how is that? Like, yeah, I mean, some of this stuff is so irrational. Like, first of all, you know, the Kickstarter was, I mean, just thinking about where this came from, this was Palmer thinking he was going to make 50 of these things and wanted and not expecting to even sell all 50. You know, and then, you know, and expanded into this huge thing, and we got our DK1s, and on top of that, we got an excellent SDK, and we have Unity engine integration, Unreal engine integration, Torque 3D engine integration. I mean, there's all these things that I've developed. We have, like, you know, Oculus making their connections with Valve, and then these guys don't just sit on their laurels and release the DK1 as like, all right, VR is here, let's make some money, and then, you know, and run off. Like, these guys are like, no, that's not good enough. That's just the first development kit. We're going to do a second one, and then we're going to do a consumer unit. So, I mean, in no way is this, like, taking our money and running. I mean, I feel like I definitely got my money's worth.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I got $300 worth so far.
For sure. I definitely feel like I got my $300 worth of equipment and support and information from Oculus, and where they go from here, I think is just, you know, is just very encouraging. The decisions they've made so far have been very encouraging. So
I think, like, there's probably sort of two, like, real deep reasons that are fueling the backlash. One of them is just that everyone liked Oculus so much, and people don't like Facebook so much. And so there's sort of this, like, whiplash feeling, and obviously that's going to get a strong reaction. The other thing I think is, you know, there's a lot of ways where you could imagine this being really good for VR. Like, I think that it might be, like, huge now. But that sort of means it's going to be less hardcore than before. And I think a lot of people were really looking forward to their sort of, you know, hardcore geek fantasy coming true. And now it's going to be more like, you know, potentially more like mobile gaming or something like that, where it's sort of a wider audience, you know, a wider demographic. And I don't see that as a bad thing. Like, it's, first of all, that's really cool to me to get more people involved with stuff that I'm already interested in. And secondly, you can still have your hardcore experiences. Like, I'm not going to start making a casual game just because Facebook is involved suddenly.
Absolutely. I absolutely, totally agree. I mean, we're going to have experiences. I mean, if you think about the experiences that we've had already, I mean, they're across the board. I mean, you have things like just experiencing Tuscany, or like even Proton Pulse, something that is super accessible. That is across the board. I mean, I put my mom in Proton Pulse. I put my cousins. The most hardcore gamer enjoys Proton Pulse. I mean, it's like, that could fit for everyone, and you're going to have some really just crazy, wild, out there experimental stuff. And I don't see that stopping anytime soon. So yeah, absolutely. Oh, yes. Oh, looks like we have another caller calling in. Absolutely.
I'd be happy to step out of the way.
Oh, no problem. E. McNeil, is a pleasure to have you, my friend. Thank you for your input. All right, good talk. And we got MottBoy8 calling. Hello, MottBoy8. Welcome to the Cymatic Brews VR Talk. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. I've actually never called in before. Never heard of your show as well. So.
Oh, excellent. Well, I do a show normally on Sundays with me playing VR experiences, but this is a first. I couldn't sleep, and I decided to whip this together, and there we go. So, what is your involvement in the VR community? What do you think of this Oculus plus Facebook news? What do you got? What do you got, man?
Oh, well, first off, never used VR. Really interested in it. I saw the whole Oculus VR. I think it's the second develop kit. I was thinking of getting it, and then they announced all this Facebook stuff. I saw the thread on Reddit, something like Facebook has bought Oculus. I'm like, well, that's really good. We got a big company behind it. You know, $2 billion there. That's money that can really be going into perfecting virtual reality. And then I read the comments, and God, people are just saying some really bad stuff, saying there's going to be ads and social integration, and that's not going to happen. People need to realize that. It's, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just, it's sad how many people, like, even if you read the Oculus subreddit, oh my God, people are going insane over there. Someone says that Facebook's going to steal their retina scans. What the hell would Facebook do with
Yeah.
your retina scans? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like there's so many assumptions that leaps of logic that are happening. Like I saw that post is like, you understand that the future of VR is eye tracking. You understand that Facebook is going to have what you're looking at. Prepare for a future of. I'm like, whoa, wait. You're jumping a whole lot. You're
God, yeah.
making a whole lot of jumps here, and but yeah, I totally agree. It's like it's people are just going nuts, man. They're going crazy, and I don't know. I mean, I think my concern is about the developer feeling. I mean, what are the legitimate developer concerns about this move? Because I mean, I think a lot of these people that are going overboard with this stuff are not like developers, like real developers. I don't think a whole lot of them are. I mean, maybe there's a couple. Obviously, Notch is the type of guy that's like, screw this. I'm not. I creeped out by Facebook. I'm pulling out. But I've got to believe that somewhere around 70-80% of developers are like, oh, okay, I see. Well, I hope this doesn't affect the process of me getting a game on Oculus. I hope things stay open, but it's good that Oculus has a hell of a lot more money. Maybe possibly I can get a piece of that as a developer to get my stuff published by Oculus. So yeah.
It's the same with this whole Notch situation. Like straight away, Notch says, "Oh, we were in talks of making a Minecraft version for the Oculus Rift, and Facebook creeps me out, so I'm not going to do it." I don't get how that's his decision to make. He's in a company. He's in Mojang. He can't make a big decision like that. I doubt that they had a huge meeting, minutes after the announcement was made, and went like, "All right, yeah, we don't want to work with Facebook now. We just, yeah, this has put us off."
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah, I've got to agree. Man. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like there's some knee-jerk reaction. I think it is, like E. McNeil said, I think it's a lot of emotional stuff going on. It's a lot of like, oh, we like Oculus so much. Oculus is the darling. We love what they're doing. It's our little corner of the internet. All we know about this VR thing that's going to blow up soon, and it's going to be fantastic and awesome. And Facebook, oh, they're big and evil and shady. Yeah, I mean, there's concerns about Facebook, yes, but does that necessarily mean that Oculus is dead and that VR is dead? No, I don't think so. So, I'm not going to be smashing my DK1 with a hammer, that's for sure.
Of course, yeah.
All right, thanks for your contribution, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. This is like a childhood dream right now. I'm running a talk show. Look at this. This is awesome. All right, if you want to call in, do it via Skype. Cymatic.hitbox is the handle there. And give me your impressions or what you thought when you first heard the news. We have a lively chat now, 57 viewers. This is crazy. What is this? This is so wild. Let's kind of check the chat and see what people are going. Bruce, are you going to get a band on next week? Oh, a band? That would be amazing. Oh man, I was thinking it was like one of those morning talk shows, like that's on AM radio, like so I can have a bunch of keyboard buttons that make sound effects, like wah, wee, wah, 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 that kind of stuff. That would be hilarious. So yeah, feel free to call in Skype. Boone is in the house. What's happening, dude? You are up early or up late, Boone? Please don't tell me you're at work. Don't think you can get through. Why can't you get through? Tell me why you can't get through. It's cymatic.hitbox. Alright, E. McNeil, thanks for your input. You're off to bed, buddy. Thank you so much. Excellent. Do I believe the camera on the DK2 might do body tracking eventually? That's weird. Yeah, we saw that cone, and eventually, like, it was corrected, I guess. The cone of FOV of the camera. So I don't know. Possibly it gets just like something like a PlayStation Move-esque controller. Maybe. I don't know. Is it gonna get your? Looks like it may get your arms stretched all the way out to the sides for a lot of. A lot of people. But is it gonna do that for everyone? No idea. Hiccups. Excuse me. All right, better, fantastic. Yeah. So if that was weird. Yeah. So if you want to give me a call, give me your impressions, what you want to talk about, feel free to do that. Cymatic.hitbox is the handle via Skype. Other than that, this Facebook Oculus deal is what you're talking about. This is VR Talk with Cymatic Bruce, a first time endeavor. I just whipped this background together and these logos and and just whip this together real quick. So see how that works, but I don't know how well it is going to work if I'm gonna do these in the future. But I just couldn't sleep. I just needed to talk to some people about this craziness. Oh, we have another caller here, Matt G. Matt G, welcome to the Talk VR show with Cymatic Bruce. How are you doing this fine morning?
Not too bad. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm not too bad. I'm still sleepless because of this news. But tell me some information, man. What were your first impressions? What'd you do when you first find out? What are you thinking now?
Well, honestly, when I first found out, I was like, oh, okay. Because I only just came in to work that morning, and I saw that Palmer posted something and no one posted anything. So I posted something, and then when I refreshed, it's like, Jesus Christ. It just started filling up with all these horrible things. And it's like, I'm pretty sure at one point I saw someone actually threaten to kill Palmer.
Yeah.
Some crazy stuff, and it was just horrible. I mean, even I replied saying, what the hell, guys? Come on. And someone even had some personal threats to some of the Oculus guys as well, and even just replying to them, I got some personal threats back as well. So, Jesus Christ.
Oh, my goodness. That's absolutely absurd. Like, I really don't understand how people get this just crazy bent out of shape, as if they're being personally affronted, as if Palmer went to them and slapped them in the face and spat on them or something. Like, this is this is a company making an advantageous move to try to get themselves in a better position to accomplish their mission, man. And yeah,
exactly. It can't hurt, it can only help.
Yeah, it seems like it. I mean, there's been some legitimate questions posed. There's been some level-headed Redditors that are like, hey, I have concerns about Facebook and the way they handle security and customer information. I have concerns about how Facebook has handled gaming in general and what that means for developers now. And I have concerns about Facebook interfering in the process that Oculus has had so far. It's like, I think those are legitimate complaints, and so far I think we have to wait and see and bear it out and see, hey, are they going to stick to their word? Is it going to be really, are they meaning what they say? Is it going to be like, oh, this is going to be the deal, we're really serious about being hands off and Oculus is going to do their thing, or is it going to be something different? But I'm disheartened when I see people like, oh, that's it, I'm done, I'm going to abandon my project, I was going to get one, I'm not now, I had this great idea and I'm not going to do it anymore.
Honestly, I think a lot of those people is like, I had this great idea, I was going to change the world. It's like, so what was the idea? Okay, I'm going now.
Yeah, exactly, right? Never hear from them again. I had the greatest game in the world, but too bad Facebook. Come on, nah, dude, nah. VR is not going anywhere.
I was very tempted to make a game where, just some simple game, and then all of a sudden Facebook just popped up in front of your eyes to troll everyone, but I thought it was a bit too soon.
and call the game something really epic too. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna have it basically where it's like, basically Facebook's getting a bit too personal. It's like, this person has contacted you, and like, then it's like, oh, you used to be friends with them. Why don't you add them on? They might like you. Just like
you should totally make that game. You should call it something really
like,
epic, like Soldier's Story or something like, oh my god, this looks interesting, and then
oh my god, there you go. Instead of the fairy and Zelda, it's Facebook.
exactly.
Yeah.
You open a chest and it's a Facebook logo. You're like, what? It's
you got to pick up as much likes as you can to save Oculus.
exactly right. Exactly. It's yeah, it's wild, man. I think that would be hilarious. Keep at it. But I mean, yeah, man. I want people to keep developing their experiences. I mean, even if this whole deal ends up being horribly bad and everything goes wrong, I mean, VR is here to stay. I mean, the excitement about VR is not just disappearing. Like, people are really about VR. There's a plethora of other devices that, with some funding, or some focus, I mean, they could totally step in and be the successor. So.
Well, that's what I don't understand. Like, I mean, I'm developing a few things, and I'm releasing it because I quite enjoy it, and it's quite fun. But it's like you can still release it for the first version. You don't have to release it for that one. So I don't understand why people would just be stopping all of a sudden.
Yeah, absolutely. It's yeah, totally agree. Keep developing your games, people. That's what I'm talking about. Man, well, Matt G, man, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate your thoughts. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much for calling in, man.
No problem. Thanks. Catch
All right, have a good night.
You do.
All right. Oh, right. That's what I'm talking about. I am having a blast right now. People are calling in, and they are just, voicing their thoughts and their impressions, what they thought about this craziness. There we go. What do we have? Bruce, I'm going to make the most amazing experience you have ever seen just for you. Yes! Eclectic, yes, do it. It'll be awesome. There is a Palmer Lucky in the house. I am very doubtful that is a real Palmer Lucky. He would never admit fault. The fearless Palmer Lucky is would not say it's not my fault. Let me see here. What kind of music is this? Jose VR. This is a song from my good friend Jesse Uppercut. It's called Changes. Jesse Uppercut is my boy, and he put together. He's like a DJ, music producer. He's doing that on the side, but trying to make it not on the side. This is one of my favorite songs of his. So, yeah, he's working on some stuff. This is one of the few things he's posted online and shared. So there we go. Do I have a mechanical keyboard? Yes. I do. I have this old Microsoft keyboard, but it's not like super awesome. It's this one. So yeah, I would like to replace that keyboard someday soon. Excellent. You found Mr. Uppercut SoundCloud. Fantastic. Excellent. How long to the metaverse? That's a great question. I think that is the biggest implication of this entire thing, right? It is like it's just crazy. It's like you have the social network, like the infrastructure that connects billions, not millions, billions of people. Like a significant percentage of the world's population is on Facebook. And now you have that company investing in virtual reality. This is the first steps of the metaverse. This is the first steps of possibly having, even if it's a very simple social experience, having that social experience connect via VR. That has huge implications, man. Oh, we have an incoming call. Let's see who we got here. Thank you for calling the Cymatic Bruce talk show here. Who is this?
Boone?
Who is this? Hey, mute.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I got
Mute the stream.
totally.
There we go. This is the legendary Boone. The legendary Boone is on the line. Creator of awesome experiences, and also he is at the Oculus, man. Or maybe I don't know if he's at work, but where'd he go? He's not on screen. Maybe he's going to. This is exactly like those talk shows I used to listen to. It's like, ma'am, would you like to turn the radio down, please? What's up, Boone? What's happening, man? I don't have the Skype camera on because it's already being used by the stream. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about this craziness? What were your first, or like, what's your impressions, man? What do you got to say?
What are my impressions? Well,
tread carefully, my friend.
you know, the developers that I've talked to are really happy about it because it's a big deal for them. It definitely validates a lot of the work they've done.
Totally.
There's a lot of backlash because people think that we've gone the way of the Sith.
Excuse me. Yeah.
But
Made me choke on my juice
people
there,
I
bro.
work with are still really cool people, and they are the most passionate people in VR. So I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
So you're saying no one at Oculus headquarters has suddenly grown a goatee, for example, that they didn't have before?
well,
Maybe,
I mean, I've got a pretty nice beard here. You can see,
Oh, that beard is serious. Let me. Oh, there we go.
pretty serious.
We're putting that beard on the stream. That is a serious beard.
Right there.
Beard is awesome.
I've always had. This was before I was. This was before I was evil Boone, evil Facebook Boone. I had this beard.
Yes. See, that is not an indicator. No one started breathing fire. Had any, bizarro looking skin changes. Nothing like that, huh? Nothing like that's going on. Huh.
Well, there were a few of those things, but those are like normal, everyday occurrences.
That just
That happened
happens.
at a tech company.
Yeah, that's just the way things go. Yeah, man, I am.
But to be honest with you, I mean, we were all really. I mean, we were surprised, and actually, Palmer walked in earlier and said, if I read the headlines, I would be upset. But the things that we are going to be able to do in the future will greatly benefit everyone that was in the room with us, which is just a bunch of huge virtual reality fanatics. And the things we're going to be able to do are just amazing.
Awesome.
The technology that we have access to just makes us giddy. We're just giddy because
Excellent. Oh, that was awesome. It's him like doing his excellent hands right there. Yes, absolutely.
The screens and the ergonomics and oh,
So much cash.
like this. It's really just about having access to things that we want to have. And everyone is going to have a better experience faster because of this.
Well, I'm totally behind that. I'm all about that. That sounds fantastic. And yeah, as a person that interfaces with a lot of developers and a developer myself, I'm excited too. I'm totally excited for getting the product faster. I'm excited for the possibilities of an Oculus that has more money to throw around. And that's just more exciting in general for everyone involved. So.
Oh, and also, there's no retinal scans, and there's not going to be pop-up ads. No retinal scans or pop-up ads.
Excellent. You heard it here first. Right here. No retinal scans. No pop-up ads. It's not going to happen. No plans for that. As of yet. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that goatee.
Never.
If you lose that goatee, I'm going to start questioning, Boone. I'm going to start questioning, man.
Not losing the goatee.
Excellent. Well, I believe that, man. Well, thank you for your input. I appreciate it. That's like, that's great. It's great to get the kind of an insider point of view and get that feedback from you. And yeah, it's it's a lot of reassurance that's coming from Oculus and a lot of excitement, I think, and a lot of the more level-headed developers. So.
Well, I mean, obviously, okay. So I'll tell you this.
Yes.
We had a sit-down conversation with Mark Zuckerberg earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the guys was like, "Hey, people see Facebook as not being the brightest shining star in the sky," and Marty was like, "Okay, yeah, we know that," and that's why we want you to continue doing what you do, and we're not going to mess with that at all.
Nice.
And Oculus is still Oculus. Like, basically 100%.
Nice. Well, that is awesome to hear. I'm glad to hear that.
They will basically not do anything except allow us to do more than we could have done as a tiny little company. We will have more power to make a product, a physical product that you will get sooner than you would have without
Sweet.
support that we have now.
Excellent. Well, Boone, I am going to let you go. I'm getting some feedback.
I'm really sorry about the feedback.
Don't even worry about it, man. I'm so glad that you called in, and I appreciate the words that you actually gave. And yes, it's great to have that, from the inside, that point of view. And if you're all about it, if you're excited, then that's a good sign. That's a very good sign, actually. So I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm optimistic about it.
We are trying to be very transparent company,
Yeah.
and that's not gonna go away. You know,
Yeah. Definitely.
we're going to maintain our integrity. We are not going to change because of this. That's
Excellent.
the way it is.
There we go.
Although, maybe we'll change the quality of our streams because right now we're getting really bad feedback. Hold on.
Yeah, I think you need to turn off or turn down the stream or something. I don't know. Maybe
Alright,
that's
I just
causing it.
don't. I literally left my headphones at work because of
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all of the craziness.
Absolutely. How? One last question, man. What is? Are you getting sleep? Is my question.
Okay.
Have you got some sleep since GDC?
I've had a little bit of sleep. So when you guys started ordering dev kits, I was awake for 36 hours straight.
This is the guy
which
fixing
was
everything.
a lot of fun. No, actually, there's a guy named Nikolai.
Ah.
Was the guy.
Oh.
Who is the guy. We have a lot of fun with the enthusiasm of the community. There was a lot of guys out there, and girls, lots of girls actually.
Oh.
Surprising. Ordering tons of dev kits, and we were trying our hardest to keep up with you guys. And I think we've got everything square now. Everyone should be happy. Everyone has their place in line, and the line is going to be moving very quickly now. I mean,
Nice.
we are not a tiny little Kickstarter company anymore. We're a larger company.
Big time.
We can get things out the door quicker. So I know when I ordered my dev kit,
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting in line for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah. Months, right?
I made something called the Rift Coaster, and I had to watch Cymatic Bruce try it. And I had to watch like 100 videos every day.
I
up on
remember.
Reddit.
I made one of the first posts when you put it on MTBS. You were like, "Hey guys, I made this coaster. Does anyone want to try it?" And I was like, I think I was the first or second reply to you, and I was like, "Dude, this is freaking awesome."
You're the big reply. This is when Cymatic Bruce became Cymatic Bruce.
Yeah.
And it was a hell of a time.
Classic.
So
For sure.
I had to sit there for like weeks waiting for my dev kit to come, and that was acceptable, I think, because it was a tiny little Kickstarter company,
Mhm.
and it's not a Kickstarter company.
Not the case anymore.
It's a bigger thing. It's a big deal, and it's
Indeed.
going to be a bigger deal now.
Oh yes, the biggest of deals possibly. What I'm hoping for. All right, Boone. Thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate your contribution, and I love your face and your goatee. I just want to make that clear. Very good.
I love your face too. I was honored to meet Cymatic Bruce.
It was a pleasure to meet you as well.
It was a huge honor.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. I met this guy in person. It was fantastic. It's so awesome. Such a cool guy. All right. Boone, have a good night, my friend. Get yourself some rest. Thank you so much for your input. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Excellent. Oh man, the calls just keep rolling in. I met the beard firsthand. Oh, we have another caller. Nicholas Pittum. He's the brain behind one of the most famous dioramas now. Spirited Away. Boiler Room. So awesome. How are you doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm doing really good. I'm excited and kind of a bit, you know, as excited as anyone else, whether that's negative or positive about the whole thing that's kicked off.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an exciting time, right? A lot of energy, positive, negative, nervous, all kinds of energies going on.
Yeah, man, it's pretty agitating for some people. Reddit Oculus /R is a little bit crazy right now.
Just a bit.
I'm kind of I've abandoned it for now. I'm gonna go back in a week and see if it's healthy once more. But right now it's not.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous place right now in at our Oculus. Yeah, I'm like, as I've said before, I was absolutely shocked by the amount of vitriol.
Oh yeah, it was. I was shocked. I mean, when it was released, you know, when the news came out, I saw it, and it was like that little spark of disbelief. Like, no, that's not a thing. And then you read it, and you see a couple of other sources, and you're like, oh no, it is. But
Yeah.
and at first I was like, oh wow, that's big, and is this good? Is this bad? And but quickly I just thought, well, it's like, sure, it sort of seems bad, I guess, maybe, but thinking about it, you know, for more than a few seconds, it's like, well, no, this is a massive deal for them. This is a lot of money to invest and make what they want to make. And after that, you kind of think, all right, well, that's great. That's money. That's investment. It's got a lot of positives behind it. Well, what are the negatives? And the negatives are Facebook going to mess this up? Are they going to come in, either tell Oculus what to do, mess with the formula, or are they going to monetize it shamelessly? And I think, you know, Palmer and Oculus have gone out of their way to reassure people and say, look, we are independent. We're not, you know, beholden. They're not going to come down and tell us what to do. And I think all the messaging that's come from them and from Facebook has backed that up. They're not, you know, they're not going to have to look for approval to make posts, you know, and updates. They're completely independent. And now, really, it kind of comes down to what happens in the future. Because I think for now, they're going to be left alone. They're going to get a lot of money, and they're going to grow and do whatever they want to do. I think up to the release of the CV1, it's going to be a pretty good thing. They're going to get lots of, you know, chances to do everything they want to do. And I think the thing that most people are worried about, I guess, is what's going to happen after that. What are Facebook going to do once they've got this platform and things to happen? And really, it's kind of, I guess I can understand why people are nervous. There's a lot of potential for Facebook to, you know, do things that are a little bit shady, but at the same time, you know, Zuckerberg has said, you know, I can see a way this could be used to sell products, sell goods, and people get ads. And there was a big old backlash, and people going, oh my god, this proves the conspiracies, and oh my god, this is awful. And I kind of thought, what? That's the internet. You go on the internet and buy stuff, and there's ads.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just a connection. It's not like the end of the world. I mean, you don't have to go to Facebook. I don't use Facebook. I quit Facebook and never look back. I can use other things. There's other options. And Oculus, I don't think it's going to turn into some kind of walled garden. I don't think it's going to be that restricted. I think they're smart enough to know it has to be pretty open, because there's enough competitors out there to eat them. Even, you know, Sony are there, and there are other headsets coming along. If they decide to wall it off and monetize it shamelessly, I think people will see through it very quickly. I think the backlash is as kind of horrible and uncomfortable as I found it. In a way, it's a very large signal that people are kind of very nervous, and it's something that they want to, watch out for. I don't think they're going to have any illusions that they will be able to sneak anything under the radar.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can totally agree with everything you've stated. I think that in the immediate future, Oculus will be left alone. I think they're going to be just fine. They're going to operate business as usual. They're going to have access to some connections, materials, capital, whatever, to push things out faster. And then the consumer unit 1 is going to drop along with whatever infrastructure is going to support getting software for consumer unit 1. And that is the point, I think, when it is going to get a little bit like, oh, what's Facebook going to do now? Now this is a platform that's super popular and making a lot of money. What is Facebook going to decide to do with this cash cow? Are they going to be like, oh, hey, we need to maximize this more, or we need to, wall this up? Or, I mean, and then there's the age-old question, as far as, since this morning or whatever, but people asking about porn or even risque content or different types of content, and Facebook is all family style, squeaky clean is something that's going to be experimental, potentially offensive, potentially not safe for work, adults. How is that stuff going to fare? Where is that stuff going to go?
Sure.
Yeah.
It kind of comes down, like, at the moment you can create something in Unity, you can and you can just run it, and you can do what you like. Infinite Realities have got their people scans, their naked ladies, and you can just currently download it, use it as you please. That's porn, that's adult content. They've been pretty bullish on the whole, we're keeping this open, we're keeping this more open. They want to go more open, they want to go more, and that's great. And I don't see how, unless they go down the iTunes route and wall everything off and restrict everything to an Oculus platform, I don't see how they can control it. I don't think they want to control it. I think maybe there will be an official, Oculus store, maybe, but no different from Steam. I mean, you got Steam Store, they curate that. I guess they've got their own regulations or whatever on what they let on. But you can still run other stuff on your computer if you want to, and use other stores. I think it will be similar in that respect. I don't foresee them doing that kind of restrictive control that will damage the platform, because they've got to notice the backlash, and they've already come out and said, look, we're not doing any of those things. We totally understand. Like Palmer said, like, look, if I'd have seen this news and not been involved, I would have probably felt maybe quite similar.
Yeah.
So I get it, but I'm not as worried as a lot of people appear to be. Certainly in the short term. For now, it's great. This looks like it's just going to realize everyone's hopes and dreams for what the CV1 can be. That much quicker, that much better. And as a developer, it's like, I mean, there's talk of people quitting it. And it's like,
yeah,
maybe you want to think about it?
Yeah.
Maybe you want to wait? It feels a bit quick to be, throwing out your weeks of work, or it's up to you, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I remember hearing stories, this was like a few years back, but there was like a game design class at Stanford where they were all tasked to make games for Facebook, and looks like a significant number of those students end up dropping out of Stanford because they made so much money on their Facebook games. And of course, I mean, Facebook has like made some changes to their system and their infrastructure as far as gaming is concerned, which has made some people grumble and turn some people off to it. But the way the lay of the land is right now, the way I see it, Oculus has got a whole lot of resources and a whole bunch of cash. And I think they understand that, you know what, we're going to need some AAA titles in there just to attract the masses and have some legitimacy. But I think the killer app, I think they're expecting their killer app, their system seller, is going to come from the independent developer side. It's going to come from the middle-sized developer that doesn't have a big AAA title to their name, but has a lot of passion and vision, and they're going to make that game. That's going to be the breakthrough, and they're going to be tossing money at people. I got the feeling that they're going to be tossing money at a whole bunch of organizations to get them to make that Oculus Rift content, so they have a full stable of titles when they come time to release.
I mean, they were talking about this before, the publishing side. They
Yeah.
want a publishing, and they didn't have the money for it.
Yeah,
They didn't have the money. This money that they've got, the 80 million or so that they raised, it's not that much. And the money that they raised from selling headsets, well, they're doing it. The first lot, they were doing it practically a loss, and I doubt they're making really anything on the
True.
DK2s.
true.
It's cutting edge stuff. It kind of, for me, it's like there's two ways to feel good about it, and that if it wasn't Facebook, it would be someone else, because they need that massive cash injection to launch what is effectively a hardware platform. You need big money, and it's not going to be by gathering together 1,000 people all putting in $1 million. It's by getting a great big organization on your side. And it's either going to be Facebook, or it's going to be Google, or it's going to be Microsoft, or it's going to be, Sony will buy them out. It's going to be someone. And as you were saying earlier, Google don't have completely clean hands. Microsoft have got their own thing. Who like, sure, Facebook are not the cleanest, but who
Yeah.
is? I
Who
don't
is?
know. It kind of comes down to that. And then also you got the other side, which is the competition. And there's going to be a lot of competition, because what's
Yep.
stopping them? The technology is coming along. I think with the Sony headset and the Oculus, they're both really similar. And the reason for that is because they're both riding the cutting edge of what is possible at that price point.
Mm-hmm.
The
Absolutely.
panels and the technology is all in there, and they're all getting it from the same sort of places. It's all hitting the same sort of prices. Well, there's lots of other companies who can do the same. And it's a bit like, if Oculus mess up, if Facebook decide to crush it for whatever reason, I doubt they will, there's going to be someone else and people will jump ship. All that work that they're putting into developing games, well, it can be changed. It can be moved across to a different platform. And it's like with engines for games. I've been using Unity. And I was thinking, well, this is it. This is great. Unity's great, and there's no other realistic option. Which is a bit like Oculus at the moment. And you're like, oh god, I hope Unity doesn't screw me over or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Unreal Engine 4 comes along, $20 a month, and it's like, oh, that's suddenly a more attractive option for many, many reasons.
Oh yeah.
Not every reason. I can't, for instance, do toon shading, cell shading in it. So the Ghibli stuff, I can't really do. There's ways and possible ways that a couple of people have pointed out, but currently there's not really a way to do it. So that goes to show Unity's still a good option for me on that front. So as a dev the engine stuff, which seems so clean cut, is now an open field. I get the feeling Oculus is going to find competition, snapping at their heels, and that'll keep them, relatively honest as far as it goes. I think I don't see how they could have gone any further without big money, and I don't see how they could have done it any better particularly. They've got to make sure in the future there's all them reassurances, and they Facebook doesn't do whatever Facebook might do, but I feel pretty good. I feel pretty damn positive about it. I don't know. I can't feel it's a bad thing. I think the backlash should subside as people get bored with it, and people realize it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, totally. I'm in that same boat. I think it's an emotional knee jerk. Oh my goodness, I hate Facebook. Rah! But I think if you sit down, if you think about it, how the numbers end up playing out, and the messaging that they're putting out there, I think it's a big win for both sides, provided that. And in our podcast, actually, Rev and Kyle made a great point in which he said, "Hey, how many of you have the TiVo? It's like the TiVo is like, it was a revolutionary product. It was like, oh, this is amazing. I can record my TV shows and then go back and watch them at another time. Oh my God, DVR. And now, I mean, TiVo is like a footnote. And I mean, they were the front runner, yes, but things happened, and there were other people that stepped in and and took over that technology and made improvements on it. And it's like, I love Oculus. I've been attached to Oculus because of watching this company grow from nothing into what it is now. But saying that VR is dead or all these ridiculous statements. I mean, no. I mean, this technology is now established. There's a model now, like having a screen, having the lenses, like all of these things are known as a way to present VR in a cost-effective way. So if it ends up going to crap, then someone else will step in and pick up the slack. I'm confident. So.
Yeah, and just on the final thing on that on Facebook Oculus, I mean, it's $2 billion, and I think someone pointed out the WhatsApp or whatever it was something crazy like 20 billion, something like that.
Yeah, it's like 19 billion for WhatsApp.
19 billion.
I think. Yeah, it's crazy.
Which if you look at the difference in numbers, you might think, well, geez, I mean, Oculus represents a whole new medium and stuff, and I think the reflection there is that this is money that's going to do great things for Oculus. But also Facebook don't have control over Oculus. It's still independent from Facebook. That could also be reflective of the amount of money that they've put into it. If Oculus had been more willing, or if Facebook had been more demanding, like, we want this, we want to control this, they could have thrown more money at it. But I think the fact that they're retaining that control, and Palmer's come out and promised, he said, I will leave if this, and this happens. I think they've got, pretty good assurances that they're going to be left alone to do what they want. And I think Facebook is taking a long bet on this. They're not thinking about a short-term cash out. They're taking a long bet on VR as a medium and making sure they've got their foot in the door early on. But I don't think they're going to come in and screw everything up. And if they do, there will be others, and we can all go and enjoy them instead.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is possibly a historic and visionary step for Facebook, having some really epic foresight and realizing that if we do nothing, if we just sit on our laurels like MySpace and Friendster and all these other social networks.
Oh, remember MySpace?
Oh yes, MySpace. Oh,
it's still there. It
still exists, for all the bands and Justin Timberlake.
You can go down some dark alley somewhere and there's MySpace sort of saying, hey,
it's just
come
like,
hang
hey,
out with me, I'll be
what's
your
up,
friend.
guys? Come on. And it's. I mean, it's there, but I think they realize that, hey, we sit on our laurels, we don't diversify, we don't do something, then Facebook becomes irrelevant very, very soon. Like 5 years or less. Like Facebook is just not the place to go anymore. And I think, they have an epic infrastructure in place all around the world, and they want to leverage that to make themselves relevant and to sustain themselves for the duration. I think
it's like the Google model. They've done a lot of acquisitions in stuff that you would not really expect, and some of it is you see them investing in auto driving cars and stuff, and you're like, oh, I can see that connection, and that's very, very smart. And then you see some of their other acquisitions and you're like, that's a bit random, I'm not sure where that fits in. I think Facebook is following that model of, with all their bundles and piles of cash, is throwing it at those potential long shots that might work out really nicely in the future, without thinking, without trying to then squeeze them quickly, squeeze all that money out. They're doing a lot of long-term game playing, and that's going to work out great for Oculus, and it might well work out great for Facebook. But for now, I think it's more a good thing for VR and Oculus than it is for Facebook, and that's quite nice. That makes me feel good about it, and not kind of this panicky, vitriolic, crazy ness that has kind of blown up with people who I think in a year or two are gonna kind of look back and you know, kind of grumble a bit and be like, well, you know, all right, I was wrong. But I don't know. I don't know whether they're going to turn around and say they were wrong. They don't seem the sort of people to have that kind of mental process to think in those terms. But I don't want to dismiss them. I don't want to dismiss the worries or the nervousness because it's completely justified and legitimate that people would worry about it. But I also think that Oculus have earned enough trust to kind of think maybe they know what they're doing.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I mean, I've got to trust the Oculus staff. I mean, from what they've done so far, their transparency, their honesty, their actions as far as what they've done with the Dev Kit 1 and Dev Kit 2. I mean, I know there has to be quite a few individuals that went through the halls of Oculus with some smooth talk and some fat checkbooks, you know, and deep pockets, and you know I know they sat and listened to those guys and were like, thank you, no thank you. So, you know, I've got to believe that they took advantage of this opportunity, and you know, the way I see it, that this is a huge benefit for Oculus. They're going to have a lot of resources at their disposal, and I'm hoping that we won't see any kind of remote Facebook interference until way down the line, maybe after the consumer unit drops and all this other stuff.
Facebook, I think they're going to get a platform out of it. They're going to get like the front of the line in terms of creating their own little VR ecosystem. I think that's going to be part of VR, and it's not going to just be like Oculus. Everything it can do will be contained within it.
Oh yes, I think they're gonna try to set themselves up as the social VR experience, and built on their infrastructure. You know, basically, you know, just like, you know, Pac Bell or, you know, Ma Bell with the telephone. I think they're trying to, like, Facebook to VR. They're trying to have that same type of thing. Like, we're gonna be the guys that swoop in. They have all the infrastructure that all this social interaction through VR is going to be based on, and you know, as far as the games and the other stuff going on, they'll probably be like, hey, do your thing. So that's my expectation, maybe my hopeful expectation. So well,
look, I'm gonna let someone else talk. I've been here long enough, but man, I think you should do more of these late night call shows, especially at this time, because I've just got up. It's like 10 a.m. for me.
Perfect,
so
that's great.
I feel great. I'm happy for it to be at 3 a.m. for you every night.
Excellent. Well, I might have to consider doing that. I don't sleep a whole lot anyway, so maybe I'll consider, maybe this is episode 1 and not just a one-off of me not falling asleep on time. So thank you for a contribution, Nicholas. Appreciate it, man. And yeah, talk to you soon.
Cheers, man. Bye.
Cheers. Oh, man. This has been crazy. I'm sorry, I don't mean to ignore the chat, but you know, Nicholas is making some really good points tonight. You know, it's awesome. This is fantastic. All right, I'm feeling myself start to fade. It is now 3:20 a.m. for me here on the West Coast in California, and it's about time for me to go beddy bye. So. Man, this has been great. It is wonderful to see such a great turnout at this ridiculous hour. Maybe it's not a ridiculous hour for whoever's out there, but it's a ridiculous hour for me. But this has been great, man. I'm all floating in space, and you know, I'm gonna try to diversify the newsroom, as it were. See if I can get a little more crazy, make this place look like Sports Center or something. That would be cool. Anyway, it's been great. Thank you so much, everyone, for calling in, for contributing to the chat. I definitely feel like I got a lot off my chest. I felt like I feel reassured. I got to see Boone's beard once again, and that always makes me feel at ease. So that's good as well. So thank you, Boone. Thank you, E. McNeil. The Red of Paw, Nicholas Pittam, thank you. Appreciate Matt G, Motboy8, Cosmo, Thank you all of you guys for calling in and contributing. So excellent. I appreciate you all. I definitely will be tentatively exploring our Oculus. I think I'm going to be tiptoeing through there for a little bit. But other than that, it's been fun. It's been great. Have a great night, everybody. It's been wonderful. And until the next VR experiment, talk to you later.